Up on Mountain News this morning, police in Ohio say one woman is in the hospital and a shooting suspect is now dead after an hours-long barricade situation. And President Trump wants to chart a new path for Americans on the road to retirement.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Caroline Mueller. We are inching up on that 5 o'clock hour this morning on this Monday, August 11th. Let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Megan Desmel for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan.
Well, this morning we are going to see those, some folks a little bit cooler and some folks a little bit warmer temperatures as we're heading out the door. Here's a look at what you can expect. Seeing that 70-degree mark being hit in Monticello, 72 even. And as you travel more towards, take a look towards Harlan, 73 even. We're going to see those temperatures in between warm and cool as you're heading out the door, but everyone will see those hotter than normal temperatures as we head into the afternoon. Looking at a mixture of the upper 80s and the low 90s. Warmest temperature forecasted for the day is 93 degrees in Irvin, and we're looking nice and clear on live pinpoint Doppler radar for the day. You can pretty much expect those clear conditions, but we do have a very slight chance of some scattered shower activity. But again, for the most part, nice and calm start to your week. We'll see those temperatures warming up, looking at mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Caroline.
All right, Megan, thank you. One person is dead after a crash in Taylor County. State police were called to the intersection of Lone Valley Road and Robin Road just before 8 a.m. Friday. A man driving a Chevy Silverado when he was trying to turn, but did not see a motorcycle coming around a sharp curve. State police say James Austin of Campbellsville was on the motorcycle when the head-on collision happened. Austin was killed in the crash. Prestonsburg police say a teen wanted in connection with a shooting incident has turned himself in. Officers say Weston Harris came to the Floyd County Sheriff's Office Friday morning to surrender to authorities. He was taken to the Floyd County Jail. Last week we told you that a 17-year-old had also been charged. Several vehicles were hit by bullets 2 weeks ago in the Bull Creek area, and nobody was hurt. A Menifee County man was arrested on charges related to child sexual abuse material. Kentucky State Police took 18-year-old Johnny Ray Shootman into custody Thursday. It was part of an undercover Internet Crimes Against Children investigation. Troopers say they started the investigation when they discovered Shootman had been sharing images of child sexual exploitation. He was taken to the Powell County Detention Center. Police in Athens, Ohio say one woman is in the hospital and a shooting suspect is now dead after an hours-long barricade situation. It happened Thursday just off the campus of Ohio University. Folks in the area were told to shelter in place for most of the afternoon with heavy police presence. Police say the suspect was barricaded inside with a note indicating they had explosives.
We're right across from it, so I was kind of freaking out. Like, I've never really been through something like this before, and so was my mom.
Athens police say the shooting victim is in stable condition after being flown to a hospital in Columbus, Ohio. Police have not released the name of the suspect. A man charged in connection with another man's death in Floyd County appeared in court Friday. Larry Johnson was charged with murder following the death of Stephen Adkins. That happened in April in the Oxshire community. Johnson's bond remained the same as prior to his arraignment, which was $1 million. He is scheduled to appear in court for a pretrial conference on November 20th. A Whitley County woman was sentenced to 13 years in prison. 42-year-old Melissa Bennett of Williamsburg pleaded guilty to 2 counts of trafficking meth, as well as promoting contraband and possession of a controlled substance. She pleaded guilty to those charges back in June. According to an indictment, she was accused of trafficking meth last year. 6th District Congressman Andy Barr is beginning to step outside his Central Kentucky district as he runs for U.S. Senate. He recently spoke at Fancy Farm in Western Kentucky and was at a health care facility in Perry County Friday, where WYMT's Neely Green caught up with him.
On Friday, Congressman Andy Barr paid a visit to the hazard location of primary care centers of eastern Kentucky. While he was there, he toured the facility and spoke to administrative staff. He says visiting the mountains will help him better understand our challenges.
I have visited here as a congressman to learn more about eastern Kentucky, about healthcare challenges in eastern Kentucky, about addiction recovery in eastern Kentucky, about the coal industry and the energy sector.
Barr says healthcare is a priority. He says he helped secure a grant for the Mount Sterling Post Clinic, which provides free health and dental care, and is looking to do the same here in eastern Kentucky.
We want to do that for Perry County. We want to do that for Leslie County, Knox County, Whitley County. We want to do it for Harlan and Bell and Pike and Martin and Johnson. We can do that for eastern Kentucky the way we've done it for central Kentucky when I'm in the United States Senate.
The Lexington native says he wants the people of eastern Kentucky to know he cares about this part of the state and wants to see it grow.
I care about this part of Kentucky, and I want to bring jobs and opportunity in energy and in manufacturing and in tourism to this part of the Commonwealth.
Barr says he is simply trying to listen to all voices across the state.
It makes you a better congressman. It makes you a better representative when you actually get a chance to be with the people and hear their concerns, their aspirations, their challenges, and their ideas. Because the best ideas don't come from Washington, D.C. The best ideas come from Kentucky.
Barr will face several Republicans in next year's U.S. Senate primary, including former Attorney General Daniel Cameron and businessman Nate Morris. Neely Green, WYMT Mountain News.
We also sat down with Congressman Barr for the first time Friday afternoon for Issues and Answers. Our Steve Hensley discussed a number of state and national hot topics with Barr. You can see that today at 7 p.m. on WYMT. Parents in Elizabethtown have a new option for early childhood learning in the area. There was a ribbon cutting for a federally funded Head Start at the new Central Kentucky Community Action Council office. It serves children from birth to 5 years old. Officials tell us that the new school in E-Town will be able to serve 64 preschoolers. Kentucky Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman was at Friday's ribbon cutting. She says this is part of Governor Beshear's plan to create pre-K for all throughout Kentucky.
Today is my daughter's last day of preschool, and so she'll be starting kindergarten next week. And so I have lived it as a mother, watching my daughter grow through preschool, learning how to play and communicate and share and grow. And I want that for every Kentucky kid. And so as the governor and I make our push for pre-K for all across the state.
The mission of Central Kentucky Head Start is to deliver quality education that enables children to become school ready. This morning, President Donald Trump says he'll hold a news conference to discuss crime and cleaning up Washington, D.C. The president had been threatening a federal takeover of the city after an ex-DOJ staffer was allegedly assaulted last week. On the international front, President Trump is also gearing up to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin this week in Alaska, days after the president's proposed deadline for a ceasefire deal came and went.
But I'll be meeting very shortly with President Putin.
Ukraine will have to be and will be involved. But on Friday, it is important to see how serious Putin is. And the only one who can do that is President Trump.
The president's special envoy for Russia and Ukraine, Keith Kellogg, was in the UK with Vice President Vance over the weekend. He's expected to go to Ukraine to meet with top officials there this week. President Trump is putting more federal law enforcement on the streets of the nation's capital. The president says crime in D.C. is out of control and the federal government must intervene. Violent crime in Washington has significantly decreased for the last 2 years, coming off a dramatic spike in 2023 when D.C. had the fourth highest homicide rate in the nation. President Trump suggested a federal takeover following a high-profile mugging of a former DOJ staffer.
He went through a bad situation, to put it mildly, and there's too much of it. We're gonna do something about it.
The task force will include at least 16 agencies led by the U.S. Park Police. Other federal agencies enlisted include the FBI, U.S. Marshals Service, ATF, DEA, and Homeland Security. The White House says the original plan is to increase these federal patrols for 7 days, but they reserve the right to extend that deadline. President Trump wants to chart a new path for Americans on the road to retirement. An executive order signed Thursday would allow workers to invest savings from their 401k plan in higher risk assets like private equity and cryptocurrency. Private equity and crypto firms have long sought access to the pool of 401k funds worth trillions of dollars.
This would be a rule that would have to develop over time. There's no law that prevents this right now, but right now what happens in the Labor Department is they say whoever is the plan sponsor has to put assets inside of the plan that are in the best interest of the participants.
While the executive order would give workers more choices in retirement planning, the rewards might not be worth the risks. Those assets tend to be volatile and hard to get rid of. They also come with hefty fees. Most retirement plans for Americans are made up of stock and bond investments. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. We are introducing you to a product that allows you to wash your hair on the go. That's next on Does It Work?
And we have chances of hitting that 90-degree mark for the day.